Hello guys, welcome to my Adobe Audition tutorial. Today I'm going to show you some of the basics of how to make your audio sound a lot better. So I'm going to play this example right here and we're going to try and make a similar audio to this. So let's listen to it fully. This is a testing. This is an audio test. I repeat, an audio test. Audio test, I repeat, an audio test for the tutorial. So that is a good one. I've already edited this before. So we're going to try and recreate this to the best of our ability. So let's go ahead and restart it. I'm going ahead and record very similar lines. So we'll be right back. Okay, so I've recorded similar audio. I think I said like one or two different words, but as you can see from the cut, it looks very different than what we had before. So we're going to go ahead and talk about a few things. For starters, just some simple practices you should do when recording audio. You should always leave a space before or after your audio, and that's going to help us with noise reduction. So no matter where you are, there's always going to be background noise. So there is a tool in Audition that will help us get rid of that. So you always want to leave a blank space. So in the spectrogram, you can clearly see where all the noises are. And as you can see here, despite us not saying anything here on the waveform, you can clearly see that they're still purple, meaning there's still noise. So watch this. You can even see on the levels that the microphone is definitely picking up something. And that could be anything. You know, in my room, my microphone's right next to my computer. So that could easily be the fans in my computer. That could be my breath. That could be just any noises in the background. Maybe you can hear the air conditioner or the vents. So, you know, there's always going to be background noises. So it's a good practice to leave a pause so that way you'll be able to do noise reduction. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So to do noise reduction, first you're going to want to find the noise that you actually want to get rid of. So right here you can hear the click of my mouse, and I believe this is me licking my lips. So we're going to come over here to the end instead, where it's a little bit quieter and all that there is just the background noise. So you're going to want to highlight the noise that you want to get rid of. So this is perfect right here. And we're going to want to right click and put capture noise print and just press OK. So there's another way to do this. You just highlight, again, the area you want. You can go to Effects, Noise Reduction / Restoration, and click Capture Noise Print. It does the exact same thing, whatever's easier for you. So once you've done that, you're going to want to highlight the entire audio. Make sure it's the entire audio, because sometimes if you're zoomed in and you double click, it'll only do, as you can see up here, it'll only do what you're looking at. But you want the whole thing. So make sure you're zoomed out and you highlight everything. Once everything's highlighted, just go to Effects, Noise Reduction, Restoration, click Noise Reduction. Now usually you want to keep it to 70 to 90 because the more you do noise reduction, the more it's going to distort your audio. If you're keeping it around here and only doing noise reduction once, it shouldn't distort your audio to the point where you can't understand it. So all you got to do is once you've hit that level, click apply, and you'll see the purple for the most part go away. See how it's a lot darker? That includes your entire audio. If you're not happy with it, you could do the same thing. So highlight it again, capture noise print, and simply do it again. And now it's gotten way more quieter, as you can see. So let's hear it, make sure it's not too distorted. Testing. This is a microphone test. So you can clearly see that any background noise is gone, and so all that's left is my voice. So once you're that, you can get rid of the beginning and end if you want to. I'm not going to overcomplicate this tutorial. So after that, there are a few more things you can do. So we want to make me sound a little bit more crisp. So how do we do that? So the first thing we can do is highlight everything. Effects. And let's do altitude and compression. So check out something first when I play it. Testing. This is a microphone test. So if you look closely, you can see that my audio range is hitting around -18 to -15. That's too low. We want to hit more around -9 to -6. We don't want to go over -6, but we want to hit this range right here. So how do we do that? There's a couple ways to do it. The first one is kind of hard, and I don't recommend it, but just so I can show you it, it's kind of eyeballing it with this box thing. You want to highlight the portion of the audio that you want to change the volume of, and as you can see, remember, it was around here and we want it higher. So on this little blocks thing, you're going to go to the circle right here, adjust altitude, and move it to the right to make it louder, or you can move it to the left to make it quieter. In our case, we want to make it louder, so we're going to pick it up maybe around there. And let's see how it is. This is a test. I repeat, this is a test for the tutorial. So as you can see, we did pick it up, but we want it to the -6. So we're going to keep going to try and match that. Right there. Let's try that. Let's see how that sounds. You'll test for the tutorial, or test for the tutorial. So it's a lot better now, but it hit a little bit of the red around here. And so we don't want that. If it's in the red, that's too loud. We don't want that. So how can we make it loud, but not make it go past -6? Well, there's an easy way to do this. So we're going to want to highlight the whole thing. Go to effects and go to altitude and compression. Now there are two ways to do this, and they're very different from each other. The first one I want to show is normalize. What this does is that it's going to try and adjust the audio to sort of match whatever you choose. In this case, we want to select decibels because our little level bar here is in decibels, and we wanted to put it to -6. This will make the audio as close to -6 as possible. So we can go ahead and pick apply. In our case, it did make it a little quieter because, as I mentioned, it did go into the red. So if we play it here, hypothetically, it should stay around the -6 level. So watch this. Testing, testing. This is a microphone test. This is a test. I repeat, this is a test for the tutorial, or a test for the tutorial. So as you can see, the entire thing is loud and more around the -9 and -6. So we've accomplished what we wanted to do. But I'm going to show you the other way anyway. So if you ever want to undo a decision that you made, you can press Control Z and it'll go back to wherever it was. So this is the second sort of technique. You're going to want to go to Effects, Altitude and Compression, and this time we're going to click Hard Limiter. So what this does is it's similar. It's going to increase the audio, but it's going to limit it to -6. So it's going to increase everything, hypothetically, but it won't go past -6. It limits the audio to -6, and that's it. So watch this. So everything, as you can see, increased, but watch when we listen. Watch the bar here and tell me if it goes past -6. Testing, testing. This is a microphone test. This is a test. I repeat, this is a test for the tutorial, or a test for the tutorial. So as you can see, it went up higher, but it never went past -6. So whichever one works for you. I'm going, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to keep this one. But usually people tend to normalize more than limit, because limit does make, as I mentioned, everything louder. Now let's say you wanted to make a certain portion louder or a certain portion quieter. So let's say we want this portion quieter for whatever reason. You can just highlight that portion and use this to lower or heighten it, whichever you need. Doesn't matter what. But yeah, that's how you do specific ones. Now there are still a few more things we want to do to make it sound more crisp, but we're going to highlight the whole thing. Go to Filter and EQ, and we're going to click Kill the Mic Rumble. So what that does is that it gets rid of any sort of vibration that the microphone might pick up from certain letters or any sort of noises that it might have picked up either in the background or by you, and it gets rid of that. For the most part, if you have a good mic, it usually won't do that, but you know, we still want to do Kill the Mic Rumble just in case. Then we're going to want to do the same thing, Filter and EQ on Effects, Filter and EQ, FFT filter, and we're going to click De-easer this time, which should get rid of some of the purple on top. It's not drastic, but it does make it sound better. Now, next is we're going to want to run some diagnostics. So you might not have this on screen, but to get it on screen, it's very simple. All you're going to do is Window and click Diagnostics. If for whatever reason it's not on Windows, you can simply go to Effects, Diagnostics, and for this one, we're going to use Declicker. So it's already here on my screen, but hypothetically, as soon as you click it, it should appear. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to scan. What it's going to do is it's going to have the program look for any sort of mistakes it can pick up in the audio. You might see quite a bit, but don't worry, it doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. All you got to do is click Repair All. You may not see the differences, but trust me, it's making it better. So let's listen to it now. Testing. This is a microphone test. This is a test. I repeat, this is a test for the tutorial. A test for the tutorial. So that sounds great. Yeah, we've definitely made it better than what it started. And you should always make all of what I just showed you a habit whenever you do any sort of audio recording. Of course, there's a lot more to do if you want to make it better or achieve some sort of goal. You can add filters to make your voice sound different. But for now, that was just the basics of how to make your audio sound good generally. Again, no matter what, there's always stuff you can do to your audio. And then if you're in specific situations, for example, the background is too loud or there's one specific sound you want to get rid of, there's obviously different techniques. So if you want me to continue, go ahead and let me know. But that was just the basics of how to make your audio sound decent in Audition. I hope you guys enjoyed.